Hello, this is Professor Halsey, and we're going to look at our Week 4 lab. We'll start here with the Week 4 lab overview. And it tells us we're going to be introduced to router configurations in our SkillSoft practice lab. And we're going to get introduced to Visio and create a network diagram. So we'll be working with Visio and our SkillSoft labs. Okay. If you don't know how to make screenshots, it's giving you instructions here, and then we'll come down and it'll tell us to download the lab report and template instructions. We have several options of how to get to Visio. You may have it on your computer already. You can get it from the software store and install it on your computer, or you can just go to our Citrix server and use it from there. I'll be using it via the Citrix server, but now I'm going to go download my files. Okay, so for this week, we have three documents that we want to download for week 4. You have the lab instructions, this one that says network diagram, and the lab report template. Okay, I have those all in my downloads folder because my computer shut down a minute ago. All right, now I'm going to copy those into a folder that I have for week 4, just because that's where I like to keep things organized. So I'm going to take them from there and put them in here. All right, so now I've got my instructions. I have my template. All right, in this file here, I'm going to right click on it and say extract all, extract, and it's going to put it in a folder without a zipper on it and bring up these network diagrams. Now, I don't think we're going to be doing any this sophisticated, but it can give you an idea of where we're going to go eventually. Okay, so here's a network server diagram in Ori Building, Synergy Business Park, and you can see how the diagram is set up. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with the instructions. We use Visio software package to create a network diagram. I just like to look through the lab first. So in step 2, we're looking at examples of network diagrams. What you got?
I got some change from the Newport people. I got $15 off of there, and then I got some change. I was just like, yeah, let me just go ahead, because I got like all that just sitting in my pocket, like, yep, let me go ahead and put that in the job.
So he wants to start filling it up again. He got another one somewhere else that he already filled up.
I mean, a week's worth of all the changes that I begin, yeah, I can probably fill it up. Hey, if I saved it all, I probably have about a good $65.
That's what he does, is get one of them jugs. I got some more downstairs. Just put all your change in it and save it. So we can Google and find some examples, or we can use the ones in the folders and look at what might be good and bad examples. And then they have stencils to work on the different diagrams with, so you can download the stencils and use those. Okay, then in step 4, we're actually create a Visio diagram. And we'll come back and walk through this. And once we get done, we'll put a screenshot of our diagram in there. And submit the Visio file. Okay, then in section 2, we're performing the initial router startup iLab using the link at the top of modules. Okay, so let's go back to the top and get started. It does say use red colored font for your answers. Use the template to submit your final report and submit your Visio file. Okay, so we're going to start Visio. For me, I'm going to go to lab.devry.edu, log in using your credentials like you log in for class. Go to apps. It is a Microsoft product, so it will be in the M's. You have 16 and 19. Typically, like going with the newer version, there's usually more features. Get this message here, just permit use. So if we need to know what version we launched, 2019. And we can do a file save as. Let me start a actually no, let me go with a network diagram. And I'm going to save it in my Netw202 folder. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm on the Citrix server, so I can actually make a Netw202 folder and save it in there. And if you didn't get that, you want to do File, New, and get a detailed network diagram. Okay, this gives us a lot of our symbols over here. And we had ones we could download and put in the folder if we need to. Then we can drag and drop shapes from the side menu. Network locations lets you add a cloud or a dynamic connectors. Network and peripherals lets you add basic network devices. Computer and monitors lets you add PCs, laptops, and other devices. To add shapes on the drawing page, use the Shapes built-in connector. Click the Ethernet or ring shape and place the pointer over the control handle. When the pointer changes to a four-headed arrow, drag it to the connection point on one of the device shapes. When the device shape is correctly connected to the ring or the Ethernet network shape, the connection point turns red, indicating that it is attached. Okay. We can also add text to a network shape by clicking on the shape and typing. You can move it. You should have a legend on your diagram with your name, Netw202. All right, so I'll copy that and get ready to go add it to the legend. Okay, for section 2, we're performing our initial router startup iLab. So we're going to come back up to the beginning or back up to the top of modules. And performing initial router startup. I like to pull my directions up in a separate window, move them to the left, keep my computer window on my right. Okay, so we're working with one router and we'll perform the initial router startup. All right, click on NY Edge 1. And power on. It is a real computer, so it does take it a few minutes to come up and get started. Let it go through its boot up process, give it a few minutes. Okay, so once we get here, we'll type yes. Would you like to enter the basic management setup? And yes. Enter the name of the host router, and we're going to type NY Edge 1. Enter enable secret, and we'll type Cisco. Then our enter enable password, Cisco 1. Our virtual terminal password is Cisco. And so these are the VTY lines used to telnet into the switch. Okay. We're going to configure SNMP network management. No, not right now. All right, this does give us a summary of the interface. And we're going to type gigabit Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Then are we configuring an IP on this interface? Yes. Now it's asking us for the IP address and we'll put in 10.1.1.1. Enter. It asks for the subnet mask. We do not want the default. We want 255.255.255.0. I'm going to go with 2 because that's my next. I don't know where it says it's telling me to space bar down, but I'm going to enter selection 2. Maybe I had to space bar to get down past this and I accidentally hit it, or I didn't have to hit space bar, not sure which, but this was the output of that command that we just issued. It then comes back and gives us all the configuration information. All right, so then we're down here, we'll enter option 2. It's building our configuration. And the lines are all coming up. There we go. Give it a minute. And enable. The password is Cisco. It does not echo. So you just have to type and hope you get it right. And if you don't, type it again. Now we want to show start. And we should see the changes we made for the host name. Here's the enable password. I'm hitting the space bar. You can see where we set up the G00 interface with the IP address and subnet mask. And submit your screenshots, and that's the end of lab 4.